Hey everybody, can you hear me now? Okay, now we got audio. Hello everyone, and welcome to an episode of Learn with Jason. So today is going to be a little bit different. We had a last minute reschedule. I know that a lot of you are here to see Emma, and she has pushed back. We're still going to do the show. We're just not going to do it today. If you've been following events in the United States, you know that it's a little not great right now. And so, today I am coping with stress the only way that I know how to cope with stress, which is to bury myself all the way inside of a project and, just make the best of it, do what we can. So my intention for today, my plan for today is to work on the Learn with Jason overlays. And we're going to see if we can find some stuff to laugh about, make some jokes, and do our best to keep our minds off of the situation that we are unable to directly control. I will say, just, out to message of support to all the people who are currently watching basically white terrorists walk into a government building with no challenge, whereas, if you're black in this country, you can't walk to your car. So little solidarity there. Okay. All right. So that, ready? We're ready. Okay. So today I want to work on, I have a new ridiculous thing that I made. So this is the most ridiculous thing that I've done yet. And I hope that you all love it. This is what I want my new subscriber animation to look like. So you can see here, I'm walking out and kind of looking around. I got a green screen and I am just thrilled that this exists, right? So what I want to happen is whenever somebody subscribes, I want to play this video and I want to show someone's name. Whoever subscribed, I want to say what they did, right? And so what I need to do for that to work is the way that this works under the hood is this is controlled by, it's an MP4 video. And as an MP4 video, it has a green background. It's chroma keyed. So if I actually turn that off, which I will do, how? I can find the buttons. Here we go. Here's the button. So I can turn off the chroma key. And you can see that this is, it's just a green box on the screen. And by using chroma key, I can have it look for the color green and then filter that out so that we only get the colors that aren't green. That means that if I want to do this the way that I've been doing most of my my overlays, it's not quite going to work the way that I want it to, because right now all of my overlays are part of the same website. Each of the pieces of the website, so the lower third, which is the logo, the title, the sponsor information, and the chat, that's called a lower third. And what that is actually, it's just like a div, and I have a display grid in there. And then the chat comes from a GraphQL subscription from a service called Socket Studio that I built, that hopefully soon will be available for someone who's not me. And what the way we're going to handle this is, like, there's a GraphQL subscription that brings me chat events, and it also brings me sound effects. So if somebody runs a command, like if one of y'all decides to play a sound effect right now, I'll turn off this lower third so it stops looping, or I'll turn off that video. But so the way that the sound effects work is, yes, my chat does filter out HTML now, and it's better than it was. Like, try to do, yeah. So you see what just happened there with the hosting, like Mindser's, and I saw that that Bobby Tables is also hosting as well. Thank you both very, very much. But so the way that this works is that when an event from Twitch happens, it sends an event, and that event gets picked up by this website. This is a React, or I guess Preact actually, overlay that will like listen for these events and then activate and display certain components based on what happens. So that's built using, it's Toast is what the website is built on. And actually, you know what? Why don't we switch over, and I'm going to talk about the sponsors for a second, and then we'll get going here. So let's go over to Solo Stream. And I'm going to open a new browser. Kind of took it lackadaisical today because I was kind of trying to get ready for not having a guest and forgot to get ready. So what we're doing right now, we have the show, new feature. The homepage is all brand new. Like this is all brand new for 2021. I wanted to rebuild the Learn with Jason site. So this is a new site. It's built in Toast. It is, let me refresh this because yeah, all that was missing. But the homepage now shows a little more information about the site, and it shows when I'm live, or it shows the next episode. So you can now see live captions right on the homepage of learnwithjason.dev, and that's being provided today by Jordan. Thank you so much for being here. Jordan is from White Coat Captioning, and White Coat Captioning is able to provide captions for us because of the generous sponsorships of Netlify, Fauna, Auth0, and Hasura, all of whom are kicking in to make this show more accessible to more people, which means a lot to me. So what we are going to be able to do here is like all of the things that are happening in this site, like the fact that this site is aware that I'm live, and the overlay that you're seeing is aware when somebody says something. And if I run, like if I want to run a command here, I can run the ahem command, and what happens is my overlay gets some events, and so I can show you what that looks like if I open up the right thing. So let's go to, here are my scenes. Let's open them. And this repo is open source, so you can all check it out if you want. It's going to open in the wrong window, isn't it? Sure is. There it goes. Beach ball of death over here. Come on. Do, 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 do. I don't do enough solo streams. I don't know how to vamp to fill time. Oh, you can do it. Come on, little compooper. That's what we needed. Thank you. Okay, so here's the repo if you want to check it out. This is how I run the show. And the way that the show works is let's take a look in the components here. Actually, I'm going to open this in code so that it's a little easier for me to navigate. So we've got the components here, and each of these is its own thing. So we've got like the lower third is a React component, and so we pull in some style sheets for it, and then we've got the logo, the details, and the chat. And so the chat is a component that is running the Socket Studio thing that I built. It's a set of hooks. This is on NPM. It's not very tested. I still have it in like a canary release. So far, it only works for me. You're welcome to try it if you want, though, because I think it'll work. I don't know. We'll find out. But so we use Twitch chat, and then down here, I'm able to load the chat, and we just map over it to display our different chat messages. And we also use Rehype Sanitize, which thank you to Chris Biscardi for pointing that out. And what this does is this will make sure that only image tags, and I guess I allowed the marquee tags because that made me laugh. You can only do an image tag. It can only have a source and an alt. That's all. And so that's only to allow the that'll only allow the emotes. Although I guess you could potentially try to post a different kind of image. I guess you can. Don't do that. It's gonna be messy. I'll figure it out eventually. Like lock it down to just the Twitch domain or something. But then each of those gets pulled in, and we show the username and all that kind of stuff. There's the marquee. Got it going. So permissible chaos. Excellent. I'm a big fan. So now that we've got our chat, then we also have support for a few other things, like the beard game. If you want to run !grow, shave, or flap, you will see my you'll see it work. So you're putting dogs, yeah, you're putting dogs in there. But yeah, so you see here in the lower left corner that this little CSS animated JSON that Cassidy Williams made is now kind of up and interacting, and this is all done again using web technology. This is coming from a GraphQL subscription. And so I can, like, let's see if I can remember the live URL here. But so this is the underlying of Socket Studio. It used to be called Streamblitz. I had to rebrand it because somebody already owned Streamblitz, so I needed to fix that. But what we can do is I can like set up a subscription for my own channel here. And what'll happen inside of it is if I look in here and I look at like the message and the author, username, and roles, and then we can also look at like, I don't know, the emotes or something. Emotes of type must have, oh, let's skip emotes. We don't need all that information. So let's just run this. I'm gonna clear this so that we can see the whole thing. One issue that I have with the GraphQL Playground is that I can't scroll. So if somebody makes a subscription, look at that, so now whenever someone makes a comment, it shows up in the list, right? And so then, so if I stop this, I'm gonna refresh and let's start it again. I'm gonna run a command. And so then you can see that we get like, here's the command, here's who ran it. And if I look at like, I have the ability to say on Twitch command, and then over here, I can find out like what the command is and what the handler is. And all of my Twitch commands are actually serverless functions. So if we do this again and we say like, I don't know, oofda.
Oofda, all right.
Right, so now we can see that whenever that happens, what's getting sent to my overlays is my my author name, the username, roles, right? And then if I collapse that, I can see the oofda command was run. The handler includes this message that I want sent to chat, this audio that I want to play, and this image that I want to show. And all of that is, you can see I'm using Cloudinary for that, so that makes my life easier. I don't have to figure out how to host this stuff or anything. But what this looks like under the hood is when I go into, let's go to back to the source code here. When I go into effects, the way that I'm able to use this is I can, let's see, am I passing this in? Yeah, this is right. So down here, I have a use sound effect, right? So use sound effect this is a whole state machine. There's a whole episode to have on this where we can talk about how this works. But this is actually, I'm pretty proud of this because this is a state machine and it operates as a queue. So if y'all want to just everybody quickly cue a sound effect, this is going to be chaos, but everybody cue a different sound effect right now. And we're going to see how this works. Are you doing it? Come on, y'all. Here we go. Oh, okay. Here we go. I see two, right? So here's the please hold. Here's a few more. Yep, good. All right, now watch. So what's happening right now is XState has put us into the playing mode. Now it finished, so it runs a hem. Somebody else ran it. Finish. Now it starts playing a hem. I need to do some cleanup to like dedupe this stuff.
Little compooper.
But isn't this fun? Like now it's got the ability to like completely handle queuing. And so it starts in this idle,
right. So that's
and then anytime that it's running, it has this handle queue helper that will that'll put the command into the queue, and then it runs. So it goes from idle, it loads the command assets, it starts, it's active. Then when it's stopping, it goes into checking for queued commands, and that just says if there's another command in the queue. I don't know how many we schedule, but this is going to be a nightmare. But so now it goes into the queue.
All right, so that's exciting.
So let's see. I think that's it. That's the end. No, we've got one more.
Oh, so we would need.
There we go.
Code.
All right. But so when it gets to the end, it looks at the content queue length, and if there's a queue, it jumps to the next one. Otherwise, it goes back to idle and waits for someone to run a command. So this is like really, really. Wait, y'all can't see my code? Is this? Wait, John, what are you saying? Am I missing something? Okay, yeah, you can see the code. I was like, wait, hold on, am I like losing my mind over here? Okay. Oh, because of the sound effects. Sorry. Maybe I need to make the sound effects smaller or do something. Okay, we can. How about we pull this over a little bit, and I will also collapse that so we can see a little bit better. Okay, so now we've got this whole queue. We're using XState, and then I pass in the action so that we can do all of that. So that being said, what happens down here is I again am using this use Twitch chat, and I just look for the current command. And whenever I get a current command, I pass that into my machine, and you can see here that I'm just sending a add to queue event. And when I add it to queue, it looks for where it is. It either jumps out of idle into playing, or it puts that command into the queue to play after the next command is played. And all of that feeds this effects this here. So I get a state, and I can look to see what's going on. I can see that I've got my idle state, and then I use my effect display to show the effect on top of the screen. And this is, this is as straightforward as I can make it. I'm using Shashaw's splitting, and I was arguing with it in React, so I'm doing this kind of like stringified thing where splitting will give me a string back as opposed to like splitting this down here. But that lets me set the caption like, Prince played whatever. Yo, damn. I love that username forces you to have an accent. That was so good. Oh my God, that was so amazing. So that, I forgot what I was saying. Yo Damn asked, is this React? Yes, this is React, but it's Preact. So my goal was I wanted to use Toast for this. And the reason I wanted to use Toast is I wanted to write plain ES modules. And I didn't want to use, this doesn't use Webpack. It doesn't use Babel. It goes straight from my code to the browser. And that is definitely like, in my opinion, awesome. It also results in really, really fast build times. Like my scenes build on Netlify, like from the time I push my code to the time it's live is like 30 seconds. So it's super, super fast. It's really, really funny. So you need to build something basically because in this case, I'm not really building anything. It's more of like, I'm using some node modules, and not all node modules are ES modules. So I have to do a step where Toast grabs the node modules and puts them into web modules, and then just make sure that everything is wired up the way that it needs to be. I'm not using a lot of the static site generator features of Toast in this particular site. I am using a ton of them in learnwithjason.dev, but you can check that source code on your own. But so anyways, the reason I'm going through all of this is that I want to build this subscriber emote or overlay. And, as I mentioned, this is an MP4 video, and it needs to be chroma keyed. And I'll show you one more time for anybody who's just joining now, what I mean by that. So come on, here we go, filters. And if I turn off my green screen, you can see that this is what the video looks like on its own without applying an OBS chroma key to it. So that means I can't make this video part of my overlays unless I'm going to try to figure out something as K-Source6 is saying, like, I'm not going to write my own WebGL filter to chroma key this. So instead, I want to let OBS do this for me. I'm using Streamlabs OBS. They've got it built in to make that happen. So what I'm looking at doing here is, how do I still use web technology to trigger this, but then allow OBS to handle the chroma key part of it. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to just make a small window like a page that has nothing on it except this video. And then I'm going to use a browser source to drop that in. And so the way that I want to do that is let's start by adding a page. So I'm going to go in here. Yo, damn, you're asking about how would I recommend learning React? The way that I learned React is by reverse engineering other people's projects. I kind of dug in. We're gonna build some stuff from scratch today, so you'll get a sense of kind of what it looks like to build a page. And I'm gonna do some, as much as I can, some pretty simple stuff here. So I'm gonna try to keep this as uncomplicated as possible. So let's call this subscriber overlay. And in this, I'm using Preact, so I'm gonna import H from Preact. This is like import React from React, which you don't have to do in the latest versions, but it's still required for Preact. Then I'm going to export a function called subscriber overlay, and this is just the way I like to do it. I like to export a function so that it's named, and I have it match the name of the file. The file is in kebab case. This is in, what is this, Pascal case. And then I'm going to return, let's just return for now a div. And in that div, we're going to say subscriber overlay. And the reasoning that for doing that is what I want to be able to do here is prove that it functions before we do anything else. So the way that I'm going to do that is this is just going to generate a page, right? So if I go out here and I do an npm, or what is it, netlify build, this is going to build my site. And you can see there 2.8 seconds. And then out in my public folder, I get the subscriber overlay. And if we look at the subscriber overlay, it brings in a little bit of toast stuff. And then, oh, that one didn't work. Why didn't that work? What did I do wrong? Return. Oh, okay. I screwed up. Here's what I screwed up. This is a toast page. For a page to work, we can't name the exports. It has to be the default export. So let's try that one more time. Tim, could I not use a video format with a transparent background? Well, I could, except this video I shot against a green screen, so it's not transparent. I could, I don't know if I could, like, could I just use transparency in the MP4 file directly rather than including the green screen? I mean, I don't know. Should we look that up? Let's find out. So let's look at this page first before we do that. So here's my subscriber overlay, and we can see that it's like pulling up the div and it has all this content here. And if we look up here, it's got the generated HTML. So this is kind of what a toast page looks like when it's generated. And if we load this in the browser, which I can do with netlify dev, this will, and I'm using netlify dev because I want to load my environment variables, and that just does it for me, so I don't have to do anything else. And so what I'm going to do here is copy, and let's head out. Chrome is killing me. I'm gonna have to switch browsers. It's getting to be such a memory hog. Here we go. So let's head over here. All right, and so now if I go to subscriber overlay, I get my H1 that says subscriber overlay. And so I do kind of want to look and see if there's a way to do a video with, let's take a look to see if, let's see if we can do the video as transparent, because that would be pretty cool if it just works. So Ksor6 posted a link. Let's grab that. I'm going to copy that, move it over here. And so this is, okay, so this is Pixi Chroma Filter. I don't know anything about this, so let's take a look at what it does. Oh, cool, you built this. So, so my webcam is not part of the overlay. I've been looking into that. Right now, the way that I do it is I run my DSLR directly into the camera and then put it into a transparent area of the scenes. But I don't actually care that much. Like I have some ideas that are really silly with like live facial recognition where I would be able to let y'all put like hats on me or something. But I have to just, I'll get there. Eventually I'll get there. I've got a million silly ideas that I'd love to dig into. But so this then, theoretically speaking, would let us, where do I even run this though? This is kind of the part where I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing. So Pixi, Chroma prototype, Chroma filter, Pixi filters, Chroma filter. And so what you're saying is if I do this, what's it looking for though? Like how do I actually apply the Chroma filter if it doesn't take arguments? Or is it just like Pixi.filter? I feel like this is something that I probably want to look into either with an expert or when it's not going to be a lot of me Googling goofily. A plugin for, see, I don't know enough about Pixi.js. I feel like I would spend so much time ramping up on Pixi.js that I probably won't, I don't know that that's going to make for very interesting anything. But this does make me want to talk to the Pixi.js team or Pixi.js Pro and see if we can do something on the show, because this is the third or fourth time that I've heard it brought up and I've never used it, so it could be a lot of fun. Hey, if that's you, if you're my Pixi.js Pro, slide into my DMs. So let's take a look at but yeah, so let's do this the hard way here. And so the way that I'm going to do this is right now my overlay is living in Dropbox. So let's go look at my Dropbox. This is going to be horrifying. Let me actually open a specific folder of the Dropbox so it's not, okay. Here's my specific folder of the Dropbox. And if y'all want to see some just super cringe, let's do it. Let's watch this together. This was me trying to make this thing happen. So that's my green screen. And this is me attempting, also, I had to throw all of these away because this shirt has green on it. And I had a hole in my chest when I actually tried to make this work. Yeah, look at this one. This is so bad. I was like, what if I came out and I like
so we would need to add code.
Set the boop free. They're so terrible. They're also like out of focus. Oh, yep, awkward wave. I don't know. I can't watch more of that. Okay, so this took me way too many tries. As you can see, I've got like 4 different takes in here of me trying to make that work. So anyways, what I want to do with the overlay here, Goofy Lower Third, that's what it's called. And I think this is the one. That's the one. Okay, so this is what's happening in the video, right? That's the green screen part. And then I used Adobe After Effects. No, that's the wrong one. That's the boops actually got picked up by they got picked up by the green screen, and so they had like holes in them and stuff. So I switched over to this heart instead, and the heart works. So this is the actual video. This is what I created in Adobe After Effects. And every time I use Adobe After Effects, I feel very much like I'm learning After Effects for the very, very first time. And so yeah. So my hope is that we can take this video, and I think what I'm going to do is just drop it right into Cloudinary. So I'm going to go to my Cloudinary account. And let's see if I'm still logged in. I'm not. Let's see how long it takes me to log into Cloudinary. I'm going to pull this off screen. All right, Cloudinary. And then we got to do the one-time code. I love that that's built into 1Password now. It's so nice. Okay, so I'm in my media library, and we're gonna jump into the Learn with JSON folder. Yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and upload this straight up. It's a pretty large video, so I think I need to optimize it a little bit before we set this loose onto the internet. But fortunately, I can do that with Cloudinary. So I'm going to name this subscription overlay. And then I can come back here, close this down, and let's copy it. I'm going to come out here and paste. Okay, so what I want to do is I just want to make this a little bit more manageable. So the size that we're displaying this at right now, let's take a look, is, what is this size? It is transform, edit transform. Give me just a second. I don't think any of my overlays show. So I've got it at like 573. So let's resize this down a little bit. Let's go to width 600. I'm also going to set the quality to auto and the format to auto. And what that's going to do is give us, actually, before I do this, I'm going to save this. I'm going to open my network tab, and let's reload the original one that doesn't have any of that stuff. And let's look at this network tab. Oh, that's not the one. Let's try that again. What is it? Why isn't it showing the actual video? It's weird that it thinks it's okay, let's look at the actual headers then. So the response headers say that the size of this video is 6.1-ish megabytes, right? Like 6,100,000 bytes. So then if I go in here and I do this quality change, it will give us a smaller video, all that good stuff. But then when I look in here, we can see that in the response headers, this is now only 5 kilobytes. That can't be right. That's better. Here's the video and the content length. Where's the size? Am I looking right past it? Yo. Very save data. Do you not have my size? Let's let's just try that again. It's saying 246 kilobytes transferred, so I'm going to take that at its word. I think because it's sending as WebM, it might be sending it as like streaming and not giving me the size. But I don't know enough about video to know if that's actually the case. Oh, content length, here it is. So it's down to 240 kilobytes, 245 kilobytes, as opposed to the 6 megabytes that it was before. Right, so that's a really quick change that's going to save a ton of bandwidth for us. Yeah, it was content length. I was looking right past it. So then in here, what I want to do is I actually am going to just show this video. And let's do a, actually, I think, can I get away with just doing source in here? Let's find out. Accessibility experts, what's the right way to label this? Do I put it inside as like a video description? Or is there an ARIA tag, or you don't put alt text on a video, do you? Title, maybe? Who knows? Somebody tell me. I'm going to look it up if nobody tells me. But what this will give us is we have our video in here with the source. And if I save, let's run this again. Oh, you know what? That's true, Robert. Like, nobody's going to actually look at this, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't do it, right? Like, we still want to. That should be our habit, is to always do these things the right way. See, the text inside should be fine. It says prints. You can do ARIA label, title, or fig caption. I think title feels right to me. So let's do a title, and we will drop that down, and we'll say Tiny Jason wanders out on screen and is delighted. Is that the right word? Delighted by lots of floating hearts. And I'm going to leave this empty. Okay. So now what we've got is we're showing a little video. Cloudinary has video No, what? That's going to be amazing. Oh, that'd be so much easier than all of this stuff I was going to do. Functionality works like a green screen effect, but can be applied to any hex color. But will it work to make everything back transparent? To make a color in your video overlay, apply the make transparent effect and color parameter. Okay. The make transparent parameter is supported only for videos with an overlay component. You cannot apply this parameter to a video without an overlay. I think this means that I can't do it in a way that would make it like I could green screen inside of the video, but I couldn't put I couldn't put what's underneath in this bottom corner down here. Like that part wouldn't be visible. Can you even see my mouse? Is it showing over here? Let me do this. Yeah, I can't make this part visible under here because the video isn't aware of it when it's doing that transparency, and it's not, as far as I can tell, providing actual transparency. I know that there are video formats that handle it. I just don't think. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna do what we need. Chris shared the link to which now? So yeah, Kisora, I see what you're post. Let's take a look at it though, because I want to see if this will do what we want. So it's rescloudinary.com, and this is the demo. And so there's a couple things happening here. We've got a video overlay happening with the blue screen watches, and then we apply the make transparent effect and what color. And then there's another video behind it, the sunset waves. And so this, unfortunately, I believe means that we're not able to use this feature. So instead, yeah, WebM supports the alpha channel, which is great. That would probably work for me, I think. I don't know. But yeah, so I think like, basically here's how I'm feeling about this. I know for sure there's a better way to do what I'm about to do. What I don't know is enough to do it inside of the time constraints that we have, because I want to get this done inside the next 50 minutes. So I do know that I can get this web page to work the way that I want, and that would allow me to use the OBS tools. So I think, yeah, what Bobby Table said, I can ship it and then I can fix it later, and I would very much appreciate if anybody does know of a better way, like open an issue on my scenes repo and let me know, because not only would I very much appreciate it, but we'll make sure that like it all gets credited and all that stuff. We're gonna make sure to shout it from the rooftops, because anything that makes my life easier and helps me learn stuff is a thing that I deeply appreciate. So what I'm going to do then in here is I'm going to take a look at how we're getting, just going to basically copy paste some stuff here. So I'm going to get React Helmet, because I want a style sheet. And the way that I'm doing style sheets in this thing is I am actually just dropping them straight in like so. So we're going to do a link rel style sheet, and we'll give it an href of, where did I put the rest of these? Styles. And so we'll call this one styles subscriber overlay .css. And that means I need to go make a subscriber overlay. So out here somewhere, static, here it is. I'm going to create a new file, call it subscriberoverlay.css. Is the div redundant? Yeah, probably. But what I'm going to do with it is use it as an aspect ratio container. And that will allow me to set the div to an exact size and then fill the video to fit. And that's maybe not something that I need to do. Probably something I could get away with since I'm not really going like super cross-browser compatible. But here's the thing. My intention with all of this is to make this stuff available to people who aren't me. I'm trying to put together a streamer kit where you can design a website that acts as your whole streamer set, and you'll only have to use some like React hooks to get the events, and then and like you can write some CSS to make it look the way you want. I want this to be really easy. It's very similar to Stream Elements, but I want it to be completely web-based, further than like, because Stream Elements, I feel like they give you widgets and you have to stick the widgets on a page. My hope is that as much as possible can be all part of the same website. And then if you want widgets, like in this case, we're escaping to get some special functionality with a widget, but it wouldn't be required. It wouldn't be necessary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a wrapper. Let's give this a more specific name, subscriber overlay wrapper. And we're going to give this a, doesn't need to display a block, does it? It just needs a position of relative. We'll give it a width of, what did I have it? I had it at like 573. So let's make it an even number. We'll call it 600. And then I want the height to be whatever the video height is. Is it going to show me over here like what the height is? Yeah, 336. Okay, so give it a height of 336. And then the video is going to be let's call it position absolute. And it's going to get a width of 100%, a height of 100%, and a top 0, left 0. The fact that I haven't alphabetized these is bothering me. But you know what? Committed to getting better in 2021. I'm not going to worry about it. So now we've got our styles here, and we're pulling that in, which means I need to give this a class. And here's something that I really like about Preact. You don't have to write class name. You can just write class. If we were in pure React, we'd have to do it like this, but Preact doesn't care. Preact will handle it for you. So I can do subscriber overlay wrapper. And so now I'm effectively writing HTML, which, oh, it makes me so happy. Command P, sort lines descending. Wait, does that just works? Hold on. I gotta like select it all. Here we go. Watch this. Watch this magic. Sort lines descending. Oh, wait. Sort lines ascending? Wow, that's so much easier than what I've been doing. I'm always over here like, oh, let's do it like that. Okay, so then, see, you're an enabler. Okay, so now I have the subscriber overlay set up, and what I'm doing with our styles here is actually, ooh, you know what I'm gonna do? Let's make this thing always 100% wide. So I'm gonna grab my calculator real quick, and we will say 336 divided by 600 is 56. So that's our aspect ratio. We can do a very nice little trick here, which is I'm going to set the padding bottom to be 56%, and then I'm going to set the width to be 100%. And so what we've just done is we've made an aspect ratio container. The height is set to 0 because the height is relative to the height. But padding, whether it's left, right, or up, down, is relative to the width of the container. So if I know that my container is 56% high of whatever the width is, then I can set the padding bottom to 56%. And now this box will always be the same aspect ratio, regardless of what the width of it is. So let's see if I did that right. And we can stop, start again. And now if I go out here, let's take a look and let's see what I've done. There we go. Okay, so now we have a width, height, all set. Now we've got a couple problems here. Note this isn't playing, so I screwed that up. But I can fix that with a couple of things. So first, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add one quick hack here to do a margin zero, not even a hack, just a global style. That'll remove the global margin so that this is not bordered like this. And then I'm going to set this thing to autoplay. But in HTML, in Chrome, you can't autoplay without muting. So I'm going to stop and restart. And like, there's no sound in this video anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so now that we're reloaded, we've got this thing all set up. It does what we want. Perfect, right? And this is exactly what I was after, because I'm going to resize this, like this overlay. I'm going to resize it, but what I want is for the overlay to fit within whatever size I set it. So this is the thing that I'm after here. And it looks like it only plays once. That is actually perfectly fine with me. Can't autoplay inline without plays inline. Oh, yeah, you can totally drop links. Just don't spam links. That's really where we're at, right? Ooh, Andy linked to aspect ratio, which is something that I love, but as far as I know, it doesn't work yet. Let's take a look. So aspect ratio is going to be dope once we get it, right? Because once you have aspect ratio, we will be able to set. Oh, that's kind of cool. Wait, that's a media query? Isn't there a CSS attribute too for aspect ratio where you'll just be able to like set the aspect ratio of something? Yeah, this one is very cool, but it's this one's not quite gonna do what we want. But it is something to be aware of. So I'll link to it in the show notes. But what we're gonna do here is I'm going to let's take this, and I think this might be enough for now. There's another step that I want to do, which is I'm going to pull in the events and show this overlay based on different events. But what I'm going to do just to start is I want to get this thing showing up on the stream. So let's publish it. So here we go. Git add. Yep, get everything added. I'm going to get commit, and we'll say feature add or this is a work in progress. Work in progress. Add subscriber overlay without caption. And then we can push. Okay, so that, let's open up Netlify. And we'll just watch this thing build real quick. Here's our scenes. Nikki, you got time zoned. I know. Okay, so yes, so that's the next step. So my first step is to get this thing in and make sure that the chroma key works. Then I'm going to set it up to actually listen for that event and show hide. So I can't point my OBS to localhost because I'm on two computers. The streaming happens on my PC, and the work that I'm doing is on my Mac. So I'm actually streaming my dev work on my desktop. I could open up a tunnel and do a lot of things, but this builds so fast. Like we're done in 40 seconds here. So I don't feel the additional over setup of trying to do that just isn't worth it to me. So what I'm going to do now, I don't think you can see it. I'm going to set up a browser source in OBS. And I'm going to add source, create a new source, and we're gonna call this, oh, get off my mic. Let's see, Socket Studio Subscription Overlay. And for the link on this, it's going to be, I need to look this up. Let's see, HTTPS, LWJ scenes toast.netlify.app. And then it was subscriber overlay, I think is what I called it. Let's double check that. Subscriber overlay. Okay. Then I'm going to set this to be 600 pixels wide. And was it 336? Is that right? 336. Okay. And let's just drop this thing right on in here. Okay, here we go. We see it. Okay, so I'm going to turn off this other one. I'm going to, whoops, nope, that one shouldn't have moved. Okay, where are you? You're in the right place. I'm going to lock that. Now I'm going to move this one. So we're going to stick this down and let's make it right up against the bottom there. Okay, so now I have this where I want it to be. It's not playing, that's a whole other thing that I'm gonna have to figure out. But let's see, shut down, whatnot, can use custom frame rate, all of that should be working. I don't know why it's not, but let's see if this Chroma Key filter works on it. So I'm going to add a filter and I'm gonna add my green screen filter, which is in here somewhere. Okay, that looks right. So let me move to a different screen so it's not quite so confusing. So this looks right-ish to me. I think we need the color reduction to go up or down a little bit. I wish it was playing so I could see. Let's call that good, right? So next we need to figure out why it's not playing. And I'm going to assume it's not playing because something is not doing what I want, and I don't know, maybe it doesn't play that type of video or something. Like maybe I need to force it to be an MP4. I don't know. That'd require a loop Boolean attribute. Oh yeah, okay. So let's try the loop. And was the other one autoplay inline? Is that a thing? I don't know. That one doesn't seem to be plays inline. Okay. All right. Let's just ship that and see what happens. All right, so we're now pushing, and yeah, DOM autocomplete for the win. Yeah, and actually, while we're waiting for this to build, you can see. Let me go into this site here. Is this what we're gonna do? Go to the deploy details. Here's my builds. While this is building, we've got also a new episode up that aired yesterday with Orta. We did TypeScript. This one was super fun. I learned a lot. I think TypeScript is something that I think has been communicated as being very dogmatic, but it was actually like pretty painless to drop in and just use. So this is deployed. So let's reload it. You gonna play? There it goes. It's playing. Look at it go, everybody. All right, so that's a website. Now we're playing our subscription from the website, and it's going to loop now because we set that loop on it. And I'm actually okay with that. So what I think I want to do here is now I want this to only play when someone subscribes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get down to, let's look at chat. And so the way that the chat works is it uses this use Twitch chat, right? And I also then am going to need this. So let's copy both of those, head back into subscriber overlay, and do one of those. Okay, so now that I have this, I want to use instead events. So this is operated by a GraphQL subscription, and the GraphQL subscription is something that I built as part of Socket Studio. The core of it is like a tiny little node Urkel server that just listens for tmi.js, which is a Twitch kind of event library, and then converts that into a GraphQL subscription event. And I do some normalization on it and things so that it's a little easier for me to parse this information. But what we can do is let's do this. Let's go ahead and for now, I'm gonna console.log events. And this is gonna be a little tricky because the only way we can really test this is by having people subscribe, which is probably not super practical. Since, you know, while I would have very much appreciated if everybody wanted to go and get a subscription, I also know that that's probably not the most practical thing in the world. But let's do this. Let's run it locally, and maybe what we can do is we can like go find a super active gaming channel that's got like 80,000 people on it, and we can subscribe to that one instead as a way to get some details. So here I've got my console. Is it logging? Here's our events. So our events now are null. So what I'm going to do here instead is let's go find someone on Twitch who is super active. Go into browse, if I can spell it. What is that? That's not what directory is what I wanted. So let's go live channels, high to low, somebody right now. Lots of people are going to be subscribing to Landmark, I would bet. So let's go in here, drop in Landmark, and let's just see what happens with this event handler. Because what it should be doing is every time somebody subscribes, we should see an event. Now this is brand new. I wrote this code like yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, and I am reasonably convinced that it works, but not positive. So let's see. Is it doing anything? I also don't know how often anybody subscribes to like other things. I imagine that it would work, but you know, we'll see. Who does it think we're subscribed to is probably the better. I should have it say that. Just to make sure I'm not serving like a cached version or something. Let's rebuild that. Get out here, open this up. And hard refresh. Okay, so we've got Landmark's events, and that theoretically should get us some information. And I don't know. You know what? I was using Games Done Quick yesterday, and it was actually way more active than this. So let's try Games Done Quick instead and see what happens. I hope the problem is that it's just not active and not that like this thing is just actively broken. That would be a bummer. Anything? Bueller? let's drop into their channel, and it's muted. Look for a sub, and then let's see if it shows up. I don't know, game's done quick. I watched a little bit of this yesterday. They were playing Hades, and I played Hades for about an hour, and I've decided I'm only a social gamer. That's really me, is social gaming only. I play Fortnite. That's like the only game I play. I did learn to play Minecraft with Lindsay Levine though the other day, and that was really fun. Come on, y'all! Somebody subscribe. Do it. Do it. Do it. I'm gonna subscribe. Let's force this event. Can I just make it do it once? Can I prime? How do I prime subscribe? Am I... Man. All right, I'm gonna have to remember to deal with this. Oh God, I'm not entering my info. No, I'm not doing that. I thought I was already saved in here. Whatever, get out of here. Okay, so this is not doing what I want. Gifted a tier 1 sub. We should have an event, and we don't, which means it's not working. Gifted a tier 1 sub. Yeah, maybe the gifts don't show up the same way. That should it should still show up the same way though. Gifted a tier 1 sub. Maybe it's too early in the day for this sort of thing. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I am going to let's switch this back over to me, and just back that all the way out. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to close. Let's open it again, and I'm going to do 2 things. First, I'm going to open on Twitch event, right? I want the, oops, type, and let's get the details, right? And then we've got the Twitch command and the Twitch chat and stuff. Let's leave those out for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this. Let's reload so that the thing is clear. Okay, so that's tracing. And then I've got this one over here, which is streaming my events. And now I'm going to, I think I'm actually logged in. The reason my details aren't in here is that I'm logged in as Socket Studio. So let's have Socket Studio subscribe and see what happens. So bear with me while I enter the details. So let's subscribe. I'm gonna do all of that stuff. I'm gonna enter in details. You just gonna work? Come on, do the thing. Do the thing. It's not gonna do the thing. Okay, come on. Okay. Oh no, I just gotta... this is... Come on. Why is everything so hard? Got one of these, and one of these, and one of those, and that will give me a purchase. Do the thing. I'm completing my purchase. Almost. Okay. All right. So there's the sub. It should show up over here. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Is it too far down? No, foiled. Let's see. We got to be able to get this. Chat, the only time. Oh wait. Did we get it? Yeah, it didn't do the thing. Okay, so something's wrong, right? Like something's not doing what I want it to do, which is not fun. All right, so yeah, as someone suggested, let's switch it over, and instead of using events, we'll use current command. And let's double check that so we can stop and restart. Okay, and then we can, let's go out here. Reload. It says current command is undefined. Let's run this thing. Oh my God. Okay, you know why it's not working? It's not working because I didn't add the context provider. Gee, boss. Okay. Let's make this thing actually function. So this is React, right? Like you can't just use a hook. You have to apply the thing that does the stuff, this thing that does the other stuff. So I'm going to I'm so upset with myself for not thinking of that. All right, so we're gonna drop this out here. We're going to drop this on the other side of it. And then we're gonna move all of this into a component that will just stick here for now. So we'll call this function video, and we'll return that. And then I need to move this part here to be inside of this component, because what we need is, if we're doing a context provider, the context needs to be outside of the component calling it. And that also means that I need to get this, right? So let's get all of that. And we're gonna drop that in here. And then we need this create here. Okay. And then I don't think I need any of the other stuff. Nope, we're all good there. So let's go down and drop in our client. Okay, so now, theoretically speaking, we'll at least get something, right? So let's try this again. I'm gonna refresh the page. Nothing is happening. Did something break?
Show me potato salad.
I'm not showing you nothing right now. What did I... You wanna know what I did, y'all? Oh boy, just really giving into the panic of live code, right? Come on. Okay. Look at it go. Here we go. We're getting commands. All right. So this is great. This is what we were after. So we're getting the command. It's showing us what's being done. It's bringing everything in. So this is good news. So the other thing that we can try is I'm going to just put events in here. Let's still trigger on current command. But if anybody who's not subscribed has been thinking that, you know, this is exactly the kind of content I like. I love to watch somebody flail for an hour and a half on trying to write something that they definitely have built before. That is exactly now's the time, right? Get those sub bucks ready. let me restart this thing and let's go. So so now that we're in here, what we should see is it should show us we've got our events array, we've got our current command. So if anyone is to events array, yeah. So if anybody the Learn with Jason Telefon needs your help, we're only one subscription short of our goal. Let's do this. I'm going to. Oh, Prince, I think my gift subs don't work, but thank you so much. Okay. So I need to figure out, there's a lot that goes into the Twitch. Like, Twitch doesn't just have like subscriptions. Twitch has, oh, but this is interesting. It re-ups even when there's no. That's fascinating. I didn't realize that chat caused it to re-render. So that means I probably need to be careful about the way that we do this. But so the way that we're going to do it is what I eventually need to do is I need to go through and find all of the different IRC events, because there's subscription, gift subscription, resub, prime sub. There's a few other ones that are in there that I need to like listen for and make sure that they show up properly. But it's as Messio says, like Twitch's API is it does what it needs to do, but it does not make it as easy as I feel like it could be. But yeah, pub sub channel points. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot. There's just a lot. I would love if they just gave me the GraphQL subscription API so that I didn't have to write all this stuff myself. But we're not there yet. We can dream, right? But yeah. Why don't we go ahead? Ooh, did we get it? Did it show up? Did it work? Come on. Man, I don't know what I did wrong. I broke something. Okay, either way, let's play with this in the end command. So we'll be able to trigger it with like one of the commands. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to set up, and by the way, sorry, I'm like, oh, it didn't work. Thank you so much for subscribing. Prince, thank you for gift subbing. Bobby Tables, I saw you gift subbing over on Games Done Quick. Swarlo, Horacio, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I just realized I'm over here being a jerk. I'm like wallowing in my own inability to get events to work and not appreciating how much love y'all are showing for me. Okay, so what we will get though is we get this current command. And so what I want to do is if we look at a current command, if we get a sense of one being defined, I'm gonna just run one real quick. So here's my current command. Why didn't the sound play with that? Did I like goof something up? Whatever. Let's oh, there it goes. Now it's doing stuff.
And that's just not something I'm willing to do.
Maybe it needed to load. I'm not sure what that was. But so what we're going to get when this comes out is I basically just want to check on current command.command to make sure that something is actually changed. This will eventually be overwritten. And what I'm going to do is let's pull import use effect from preact hooks. And I'm also going to need state because I need to be able to say whether or not it's visible. So let's start by saying const visible set visible equals use state, and we'll default to false. And then for our use effect, what I want to do is I'm going to have our function, and that function is going to look for current command. Because if the command doesn't change, eventually, like my to-do here is use subscription events. So what it'll do in the future is it's going to check on whether or not the subscriber name changed, so that we don't like spam events if I get caught in a loop somehow. But what we can do instead here is that when the command changes, we can say, or actually, maybe we want to use the time, because it's possible that in this scenario, someone could fire the same command, but it would be a different event. So let's use the time instead. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say set visible true, and then we'll set a timeout. And let's say we're going to run this for, I don't know, for, how long is this video? How long is the video? Let's check. It is 11 seconds. Okay, let's run it for a full 11 seconds. Nah, let's call it 10 because it's probably going to end slightly before that and I don't want an awkward loop. And then we'll set visible to false. And I'm going to want to probably clean this up to fade in and fade out. But for now, I'm happy, right? Like this will do enough to prove that what I want is happening. And then what we can do here is we can say visible and what I meant by that was not that. There we go. There we go. Okay, so let's give this a shot. Let's see what happens. I'm going to run netlify dev. I'm going to... What don't you like? What did I miss? I missed something. Not read time of undefined. That makes sense. So what I'm going to do instead is let's do const like command time equals current command and current command time or false. I would love to use like nullish coalescing or the optional chaining operator, but the overlays here use Chromium embedded framework, which does not support the optional chaining, which is kind of a bummer, but that's fine, no matter. So we'll set command time here, and then what I'm going to do is if command time is false, I'm going to just return so that it doesn't do anything if there's no command set. So that should solve that problem. Let's see. So now, if we reload, it does what we expect. Somebody see if they can trigger this. Run a command. Whew, all right. Hey, we got a hype train emote. Thank you, and thank you again, everybody. I really, oh, look at it go, look at it go. Yes, haha. So this means now that should, being the operative word, work. And did you see that it all did what I want? Look how freaking slow the overlays are. Like, that's kind of magical, actually. Yeah, anyways. But what we can do, and like you can see here, it's not queuing and stuff. I have to think through that, because one of the things that I've noticed that causes a ton of chaos on a stream is when somebody gifts like 10 subs and you've got a 10-second subscription animation and their sound effects and stuff, you end up with a minute and a half of sound effects and chaos, right? And I've seen it derail, right? And I think there's a way that it could be really fun, but I also think that there is, I don't know, who knows? But yeah, so let's what can we do? Let's deploy it. Git commit. Sub should trigger. Let's see. Overlay should trigger on commands. Let's push, and then we can go look at this thing build. Oh, we do need to add code. Yeah, it is called Chromium Embedded Framework. This is what is running under the hood in OBS. So this is, and I'm not 100% sure if it's like this one or this one, but what I found was when I built this, it worked in all the browsers. Like it would work in Safari, Edge, Firefox, and Chrome, and then when I opened it in OBS, it would just fail. And so I had to figure out how to debug OBS. It turns out there's a flag you can add, which there's probably there's a lot of content to create and write about this stuff because it's just a bunch. But yeah, so what this ends up being is it's based on Chromium. It is it a fork? Let's look. So it lets you embed a browser in an app, which is why it's useful for OBS. What I don't know is, like, I don't know if this is an official project. I think it's not. and it's open source, and so I think it lags a little bit on feature completeness. But yeah, like that. I think did it work? You done? Yeah. Okay, so let's refresh this thing over here. I'm gonna refresh the cache. Okay, and it is now. It's still there, but it's not playing. Somebody run a command, and we should see me walk out onto screen. Anyone? Bueller? Here we go. Look at it. Look at it go. Yes. Okay. So look at that. We've got it working. I'm a little confused by like the audio clashing, and I don't know why. So I'll have to look into that and figure out what happened there. But this is pretty slick, right? And so now if we all stop running commands, what should happen is this should clear then. So let's try it and see what happens. So I think Holy Buckets was the last one. Please hold will happen again. Oh man, I'm using the PogChamp. I gotta get rid of that PogChamp. But yeah, okay. So once this one finishes, there it goes. See, the subscription is now gone. So so we got this, like we did it. We built an overlay that functions based on web events. So this is it's a website, it's an embedded web page, it's using Chroma Key, because again, if we turn off the Chroma Key, and like I can do that real quick. Let's set off this filter. Right? Somebody run that for me one more time.
Holy buckets, did that just work?
So if we run like one of these, yeah, see, Chroma Key's off. And so now, like, this is slick. I am so excited about this because it just does what we want it to do. It it cooperates.
Code.
It displays properly. We get that walkout effect. And like my inspiration for this, if this just looks like something that I made up, it's definitely not. The walking in from the bottom of the screen is something that back when cable television was like a continuous streaming thing, and you had like primetime shows and stuff, they would always have a sitcom where during the sitcom they would have characters from another sitcom walk out on the bottom, and they would like jostle and they would smile at each other and they would be like, right? And it was this really goofy thing where every time I saw it, it made me cringe. And so I thought, naturally, for this stream, we needed it. We had to have it. I've been trying to think of a fun way to do subscriptions for a long time, and this is the first one that I felt like I could actually execute. The other ones that I want to make will eventually exist, but they're a little more ambitious and will require a little more time. But yeah, I'm so excited that we got this working in the allotted time. Everyone, what a great day. I am so glad that you all came to help me forget about my problems for a little while, to bury the stress down a little bit. And to everybody, let's do a quick shout out again to the sponsors. So to Netlify, Fauna, Auth0, and Hasura, thank you so much for sponsoring this show and for making this show more accessible to more people. Thank you to Jordan from White Coat Captioning, who has been diligently creating live captions throughout the entire show. And remember, that's available in the video in the video playback as well. If you go and look, all the transcripts are here, so you can always get that transcript. It is available to you, and it means a lot to me that companies are willing to kick in to make this show more accessible. So make sure you go check out the schedule. We've got such a jam-packed January. It's going to be so much fun. We are going to. Oh, I don't know if Yodam. Oh yeah, Yodam, you're still here. We're going to learn React on Tuesday. So if you want to come back, we are going to do an introduction with Ali Spittle. She is brilliant. She's a React teacher, and she's going to give us an introduction to React. I think it's going to be so good. It's going to be so amazing. Following that, we've got Scott Moss coming on to teach next. If you haven't seen Scott Moss's content, he is a powerhouse teacher. He does content on Front End Masters and a bunch of other places. he is going to teach us how to do next. So after you learn React, that'll give you the basics that will let you figure out what next adds on top of React. Then we're going to bring back Ben Hong, a good friend of mine, coworker, who is going to help us learn Vue's composition API. And that's just we're going to talk about getting hired in tech. We're going to build our own Babel plugin. Like what a month. It's going to be a blast. Everybody, please go check that out. Please mark your calendars. Remember, you can at any time add the Learn with Jason schedule to Google Calendar. It's going to put every episode on your calendar. It's not going to like send you alerts or anything. It's just going to let you know that they're happening so that you don't miss an episode. And that'll help with like time zone problems. I know Nikki got into trouble today because he thought it was an hour later. But that's not what happened. That's not how it works. So anyways, y'all, I know things are weird right now. I know that 2021 maybe didn't get off to the start that we hoped, but let's just keep our fingers crossed that this is the dark before the dawn, right? As always, thank you so much for hanging out, and we will see you next time.